Ladies and gentlemen, wisdom is where you find it. Today I found it on a post on Facebook that shows me two bumper stickers. One says Obama 08. The second one says Obama 12. The caption says, anyone who has one of these on their car will be issued one Syrian refugee to care for. My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook and YouTube and Tumblr and in the book Riell Truth Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM The Lion. Our call-in number, 877-254-7524. Folks, welcome back. Item from the Wall Street Journal. President Barack Obama announced 2 years ago he would curtail eavesdropping on friendly heads of state after the world learned the reach of long secret U.S. surveillance programs. But behind the scenes, the White House decided to keep certain allies under close watch, current and former U.S. officials said. Topping the list, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The U.S., pursuing a nuclear arms agreement with Iran at the time, captured communications between Mr. Netanyahu and his aides that inflamed mistrust between the two countries and planted a political minefield at home when Mr. Netanyahu later took his campaign against the deal to Capitol Hill. The National Security Agency's targeting of Israeli leaders and officials also swept up the contents of some of the private conversations with U.S. lawmakers and American Jewish groups. That raised fears, an oh blank moment. One senior U.S. official said that the executive branch would be accused of spying on Congress, unquote. If the story is right, the executive branch was spying on Congress, was spying on Jewish groups, was spying on Israel. Anybody ever hear of a guy named Richard Nixon? He was spying on people too. His fellow legislators back in the 70s, he was impeached. Should we impeach Obama? Well, yeah, of course we should. What else? Should he be forced to resign? Should we recognize he's been a disaster as president? Should he go to jail for this illegal spying on Congress members and on an ally of ours? Yes, he should go to jail. He won't. Because there's no real, dependable justice in America. If there were, Hillary Clinton would be running for president from a jail cell. Instead, she's free and rich and vying for the most powerful job on the planet, which Barack Obama already has 2 pieces of absolute trash. 3 if you count Bill Clinton. Item. From the PC graveyard, Fox News contributor rocks Hillary with 19 sexual impropriety of bills. Fox News contributor Catherine Timpf mocked Hillary by naming 19 instances of Bill's improprieties. She condemned Hillary's attempts to run as a feminist after she tried to destroy the women who almost destroyed Bill. Now, here's the list of women that this moderator put together. Juanita Broderick, rape. These are all accusations, of course, allegations, none of them proven. There and now I'm covered. Eileen Wellstone, rape. Elizabeth Ward Grayson, rape, quid pro quo, post-incident intimidation. Regina Hopper Blakely, forced himself on her, biting, bruising her. Kathleen Willey, sexual assault, intimidations, threats. Sandra Allen James, sexual assault. 22-year-old 1972, unnamed, sexual assault. Kathy Bradshaw, sexual assault. Christy Zurcher, unwelcome sexual advance and intimidations. Paula Jones, unwelcome sexual advance, exposure bordering on sexual assault. Carolyn Moffitt, unwelcome sexual advance, exposure bordering on sexual assault. 1974 student at University of Arkansas, unwelcome physical contact. 1978 to 80, 7 complaints per Arkansas state troopers. Monica Lewinsky, quid pro quo, post-incident character assault. Jennifer Flowers, quid pro quo, post-incident character assault. Dolly Kyle Browning, post-incident character assault. Sally Perdue, post-incident threats. Betty Dalton rebuffed his advances, married to one of his supporters. And Denise Reeder, apologetic note scanned. These are all allegations that have been made against Bill Clinton, Hillary's husband, about which Hillary did nothing, said nothing, never left Bill. In fact, based on what I've read, she headed up this attack squad that went after these women who were trying to take down her meal ticket. Her meal ticket, because Hillary Clinton has never accomplished anything in her life that she didn't accomplish only because she's married to Bill Clinton. So as he goes, she goes, and so she was the head Rottweiler going after these women. But of course now she's a feminist leader, and she's a role model, and she's the most admired woman in America, and it's enough to make one puke. Tim criticized Hillary's stance as a feminist in a series of tweets, which I quote, "It's not about attacking Bill to attack Hillary. It's about attacking fake feminist Hillary for how she herself treated the women involved. If you want to say what Bill did was irrelevant to Hillary, fine, but how she attacked these women is, especially since she's running as a, quote, feminist. She's accused of threatening Broderick. She called Flowers trailer trash, now calls herself a feminist. #nope. Tiff also said Hillary ruined some of these women's lives. Hillary didn't just not believe the women who accused Bill of assault. She attacked and shamed them until their lives were ruined. I will not stop talking about this. I will not let Hillary run on about being pro-women when she's destroying so many for her benefit." Unquote. My friends, Hillary Clinton would condemn you and your family and me and my family to death in a second if she thought she could use it as a stepping stone to the White House. She cares not a whit about women, about Americans, about minorities. She cares about Hillary Clinton, and she would put a knife in anybody, everybody, in order to get to the White House. Not on my watch. Item from the Daily Mail. Amelia Earhart was captured by the Japanese while on a secret spy mission for the U.S. and returned to America under an assumed name to cover it up for President Roosevelt, a new book claims. The aviator lived out World War II in the Japanese POW camp and was given a new identity because the administration feared embarrassment if the truth came out. My friends, we'll take a break. We'll come back. I'll give you some more about Amelia Earhart. You've waited long enough to hear what actually happened. It's Riell Truth, and I will be back.
We all know that our government is out of control. Who are the point the people in it? How can we, the people, bring it back to the people's service, not the people's master? Liberty Park and the Freedom Rider say officials in government must be made accountable for their actions. AccountabilityRevolution.com is the place to go to learn how. All receive, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, He has declared Him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, folks, welcome back to Riell Truth. I am Howard Riell. If you know the name Savannah Guthrie, well, you're better than I am because I've never heard of her. Apparently, she is a news Twinkie on NBC News. She's about to have Donald Trump as her guest, and you can see that, as you'll hear on the video, and you can find this on the internet, she's about to go after Donald Trump. She wants to attack Donald Trump, which is not what journalists do. It's what Miss Guthrie does. I don't know how she got her job. She's an attractive young woman, enough said, but she's clearly not a reporter. Her job is to do a hit piece on Donald Trump to make him look bad. Donald Trump will have none of it, and he's about to straighten her ass out on the air. Here we go. Step one. Step one, she's cutting him off. She's not interested in his answer. She's interested in her own answer. No journalism at all. Here we go.
I didn't say.
She's drawing inferences. She's reading Donald Trump's mind because she wants to make him look bad. This is the stale and awful quality of what passes for journalism today. Let's continue.
What they said to them, and that's what they said. They call him a
All right, now here, Savannah Guthrie again is showing she's no journalist because the long list, which by the way I opened the show with today, the long list of women that Bill Clinton is accused of having molested has been public knowledge ever since Clinton was president. So if she doesn't know that, either she is feigning ignorance or she truly is ignorant, which again makes me wonder what she had to do to get this job. She's very pretty. Let's go on.
situations, of course, we can name many of them.
Stop. Alleged? There is no allegation about it. Bill Clinton had sex with Monica Lewinsky. That's also been public knowledge since today's voters were not born yet. Everybody knows it. She is here defending Hillary, defending the Democratic Party, and so as far as she's concerned, it's alleged. This is where Donald Trump puts his leg up her ass. Listen.
Extramarital affair that of course he has now admitted.
Yeah, she's not here to interview Donald Trump. She's here to get out her message. She doesn't want Donald Trump to waste time on the air speaking. She wants to talk, which I suppose makes her an average woman, but she's on national television.
Because they not feel that way about this.
Yeah, she's also been outed as a piss poor journalist, if indeed she even counts as a journalist. This was a hit piece. It was intended as a hit piece. Once again, her name is Savannah Guthrie. God knows who she did or what she did to get that job, but I'm here to tell you she's doing a piss poor job. Now, back to a woman who earned more respect than a Twinkie like Savannah Guthrie. Amelia Earhart, author W.C. Jameson, has a new book out, or will be coming out soon, says that Earhart's plane was fitted with special cameras to take pictures of Japanese military installations on islands in the Pacific Ocean. When she came down in the Marshall Islands in 1937, she immediately buried a box in the sand before she and co-pilot Fred Noonan were captured by the Japanese, which likely contained damning evidence against them. Earhart took her new identity because she was a marked woman and wanted nothing more to do with her old name and notoriety it attracted, Jameson claims. His account is co-written by Gregory Feth, a former senior air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, and is the first to be reviewed by such a figure. My friends, you can go on Amazon and read the description of this book. Is this what happened to Amelia Earhart? I don't have the first idea. Everybody's got a theory. But you remember when I first went on the air almost 7.5 years ago, the show is primarily about conspiracy, and there are those who claim that there has been a conspiracy of silence around Amelia Earhart. In fact, this article points out that there's still paperwork in Washington, D.C. about the search for Amelia Earhart that all these years later is still top secret, classified, and we can't look at it. So if she was not spying, what the hell is the cause of keeping those papers secret? Was it 80 years later? We'll have to see what develops, if anything. Item from Newsmax. A new California gun control law takes effect next week that will allow police, without prior warning to a gun owner, to seize their weapons if a judge decides there's a potential for violence. The law was prompted by a 2014 mass shooting near the University of California, Santa Barbara, in which officers beforehand visited shooter Elliot Rogers' home after his parents raised alarms about his mental health, yet concluded he was not a risk and did not search the apartment where he'd stashed guns, ammo, and knives. Unquote. My friends, California is the quintessential liberal democratic state, and as all liberals do, they are trying to get that fly on the wall by using a cannon. This guy, Elliot Rogers, was mentally ill, and so instead of putting safeguards in place to protect us from people who are mentally ill, they're saying, well, now we can take your guns. All of you. Everyone's guns. Well, it's unconstitutional. Follow the news in the weeks and months to come, and you will see that it will be struck down. Item from Jews News. A British Muslim was barred on December 15th from boarding a flight to the United States to Disneyland for a planned holiday, U.S. officials told CBS on Wednesday. It's because of the attacks on America. They think every Muslim poses a threat, Mohammed Tariq Mahmoud told The Guardian. But other reports said Mahmoud was denied access at Gatwick Airport by the U.S. government and told he would not be able to fly to Los Angeles due to a Facebook account that suggested family ties to Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. ITV News discovered a Facebook page under the name Hamza Hussein, who claimed links to radical Islamist groups and also lived at the family's address. The account listed the job titles supervisor at Taliban and leader at Al-Qaeda. Mahmoud's teenage son is named Hamza. Mahmoud said hackers or some other cause may be to blame for the Facebook posts. That could be anything, maybe a mistake, unquote. CBS also reported a DHS source said one of the brothers was refused entry to Israel 2 years ago, though the BBC reported the incident took place 8 years ago, unless the reports described two separate incidents. Political correctness aside, the fact is some Muslims have demonstrated that they do pose a threat to American security, a threat that needs to be taken seriously, unquote. Right. Well, what does taking it seriously mean? It means we don't let the Muslims into America who are going to commit terrorist acts. What's that, you say? How do we know which Muslims are going to commit terrorist acts? Good question. Here's the answer. We don't. We can't. And that's why we can't let any Muslims into the United States. If you can find a flaw in that logic, call me and tell me. Item. From the Houston Chronicle, a Houston man has been arrested in connection with a suspected arson at a mosque on Christmas Day. A spokeswoman for the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives confirmed that the man was arrested early Wednesday, sometime after midnight, and appeared in court 7 a.m. Wednesday. The suspect, Gary Nathaniel Moore, 37, of Houston, appeared in court, though the suspect said he was a regular at the mosque. M.J. Khan, president of the Islamic Society of Greater Houston, which operates the mosque, said he was unfamiliar with Moore. Quote, "We're just looking into it ourselves," he said Wednesday after learning of the arrest. "We're really very surprised and saddened by this whole thing." Unquote. My friends, how do you explain a Muslim who goes to a particular mosque setting fire to that mosque? Well, very simply. Scorpions will sting people, other animals, and other scorpions. Item from WorldNet Daily. Americans are strongly backing GOP presidential primary frontrunner Donald Trump's suggestion that all Muslim immigration be halted until the nation can figure out how to handle the threat of imported terrorists. Nearly 70%, 70, of those responding to a poll question about halting refugees from Syria agreed with Trump. Almost the same percentage said America should ban all Muslim immigration, at least temporarily. The results are from a new WND clout poll by Clout Research. Blah, 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 blah. The American public is far ahead of the political leaders on this question, and it appears that Republican Donald Trump is taking full advantage of this difference by calling for a temporary ban on Muslim immigration, said Fritz Wenzel, a partner at Clout Research. Unquote. So, my friends, how temporary should this ban on Muslim immigration to the United States be? Well, I think that's pretty simple. As soon as the world goes an entire 12 months without a single terrorist attack, as soon as that happens, then the Muslims can come back in. Item from Walter Williams, writing at WorldNet Daily. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia ran headlong into the leftist meat grinder by questioning whether college admission of blacks with academic achievement levels significantly lower than the rest of the student body is beneficial to blacks. His question came up during oral arguments in Fisher versus University of Texas, wherein the court ruled whether the use of race in college admission decisions violates the 14th Amendment's guarantee of equal protection of the laws to all citizens. Justice Scalia, stop right there. What is the question? If you're saying we're going to give preference to one race, then very obviously you're not giving equal protection. You're giving unequal protection. Is this really something that needs to go to the Supreme Court, or is it going all the way to the Supreme Court due to political correctness? Everybody knows it's right, but we'll say it's wrong so everyone will think I'm a great person. My friends, I know I'm a great person. Don't need anyone else to tell me that, and I'm here to tell you that this business about putting one race over another, affirmative action, is racism pure and simple, and if it's wrong, and it is, then it's always wrong. We'll be back.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace upon you.
rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. 303-239-9963. Or go to greatplainssolar.com. He was in the world, and the world was made through him. The world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. You know, a rare occurrence when you get truth out of an Egyptian. Very rare occurrence. Now, here's an Egyptian. I'm about to play this video. It's on the website unitedwithisrael.org. His name is Ahmed Maliki, and he's a rare kind of Egyptian. He speaks the truth about Islam and about Israel. Let's listen.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace upon you.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop it there. You can find this at unitedwithisrael.org. It's worth watching, and it's worth thinking about. And again, when you find an Egyptian who tells the truth, it's a rare event. It's like a meteor streaking across the sky. Item from pjmedia.com. A leading imam has told refugees heading to Europe and America to use the refugee crisis to, quote, conquer the West. They don't have to do so with guns, he says, but simply by outbreeding the native population. Sheikh Mohammed Ayed made the statements in a speech at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, the Daily Mail reports. The Sheikh told Muslims to intermarry with Europeans and Americans and urged them to have children so they can, quote, trample them underfoot, Allah willing, unquote. The Imam continued, quote, throughout Europe, all the hearts are enthused with hatred towards Muslims. They wish that we were dead, but they've lost their fertility. So they look for fertility in our midst. We will give them fertility, unquote. We will be back. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. You know the drill. Share this video with everybody you know. Hasta luego.